I never believed in destiny. Not when I signed up for deep space salvage missions. And not when I first saw the royal flagship of the Zytherian Empire drifting like a silent god above the ruined moon of Virel 9. My job was simple. Recover anything valuable from dead war zones and disappear before anyone noticed I'd been there. That's what I was doing when everything went wrong. The war between the outer colonies and the Zytherian Empire had ended only months ago, but the scars still floated in orbit. Shattered cruisers, broken satellites, frozen bodies tumbling endlessly through the void. I was picking through debris in my small ship, the Wren, when I found her escape pod. It wasn't supposed to be intact. Zytherian royal pods were built to self-destruct rather than risk capture. But this one hadn't. When I opened it, I expected a corpse. Instead, I found her. She looked human at first glance, almost human. Pale silver skin with faint luminous veins tracing beneath it like constellations. Her long dark hair floated gently in zero gravity. And her eyes weren't just eyes. They shifted like liquid starlight, reflecting things that weren't even behind me. She was unconscious but alive, and wearing a crown embedded directly into her neural crown ridge, an organic royal interface. I should have reported her. I should have turned around. Instead, I brought her aboard. That was my first mistake. It took her 3 days to wake up. When she did, she didn't panic. She didn't scream. She simply opened her eyes and studied me like I was the strange one in the room. "You are not Zytherian," she said calmly. "No," I replied. "Human." She tilted her head slightly. "Human salvage operator in this sector." "Yeah," I admitted. "That's me." She sat up slowly, unbothered by the fact she was inside a stranger's ship in the middle of deep space. "You should have handed me over to Imperial Retrieval." "I know." A pause. Then she said something I didn't expect. "You didn't." That should have been the end of it. I should have dropped her off at the nearest neutral station and collected my credits. Instead, the Zytherian Empire issued a sector-wide alert. Missing royal heir. Considered politically critical. Return immediately or face extinction-level retaliation. That was when I realized she wasn't just any noble. She was the princess, Princess Aelith Vaelthara of Zythera. And I was now officially the dumbest man alive. Still, she didn't act like a prisoner. She moved through my ship like she belonged there, studying everything with quiet fascination. The way she touched the metal walls. The way she listened to the hum of the engines, like it was music only she could hear. One night, I found her standing near the viewport, staring at the stars. "You are afraid," she said. "I'm not," I lied. She smiled faintly. "Humans always lie when emotions are inefficient." "Is that a royal observation?" "It is a truth. We spent days like that, talking, learning, avoiding the inevitable." She told me about Zytheria, an empire where rulers were genetically bonded to the neural lattice of their civilization, where emotion wasn't weakness, but governance itself, where royalty didn't just rule, they synchronized with billions of minds. And yet she had been alone when I found her. "I was exiled," she finally admitted one night. "Exiled. From your own people. My decisions did not align with the collective will. So I was removed before I could destabilize the system." "That sounds like prison with extra steps." She laughed softly. It was the first real sound like that I had heard from her. "You humans are inefficiently honest, and you aliens are efficiently terrifying." That made her laugh again. I started noticing things after that. The way she looked at me when she thought I wasn't paying attention. The way her presence made the ship feel less empty. The way I stopped counting the days until I could drop her off. It happened during a micro-jump malfunction. A ripple in subspace tore through the ship, slamming us out of FTL travel too early. The hull groaned. Systems failed, gravity flickered, and then the emergency lights cut out completely. I was thrown against the console. Sparks exploded from the control panel. The ship was dying. But worse than that, we were not alone anymore. The Zytherian retrieval fleet had found us. Through the viewport, massive warships unfolded like mechanical gods, surrounding us in perfect formation. One transmission came through instantly. "Return the asset immediately." Asset, not princess, not person. I turned to her. "They're not asking." "I know," she said quietly. "They'll destroy the ship, I know." Something in me snapped. "Then run. Take the escape pod. I'll stall them. She looked at me for a long moment. Then she said softly, "You would die for a stranger you illegally rescued. I already broke enough laws keeping you alive," I said. "What's one more?" That was when she stepped closer, too close. Her hand touched my chest, not forceful, not weak, just certain. "You are not efficient," she said. "I've been told. And yet, you act as though you have already chosen." "I didn't choose anything," I whispered. "I just didn't want you to die." She tilted her head slightly, studying me like she was reading something beneath my skin. Then I said it. "I didn't mean to. It wasn't planned. It wasn't rational. It just came out of me like a breach in my own defenses." "I wish I could marry you," I whispered. Silence swallowed the ship. Even the alarms felt distant. For a moment she didn't move, didn't blink, didn't react. Then she smiled, not politely, not kindly, but like something ancient had just been confirmed, and she said, "Then you already belong to me." The Zytherian fleet stopped firing. That was the first impossibility. The second was the way their ships shifted formation, the moment she extended her neural command signature. "You're controlling them?" I asked. "I am not controlling them," she said calmly. "I am reminding them who I am." The princess I thought was exiled was not powerless. She was restrained, and now she wasn't. Her voice echoed across all channels, layered with something beyond speech, something that felt like thought itself. "I return by choice," she declared. "This human is under my protection." There was a long pause, then the fleet withdrew. Just like that. No war. No just obedience. I stared at her. "So, what happens now?" She turned toward me slowly. "You made a claim," she said. I was joking. "No," she replied gently. "You were honest." That word again, honest. She stepped closer, her luminous eyes reflecting the dying stars outside. "In Zytherian law," she continued, "a spoken bond from a human without coercion is considered absolute intent. That's not what I meant." "And yet," she said softly, "you meant it enough for your biology to override fear." I had no response to that. She reached up, touching my face with a strange kind of reverence. "You belong to me now," she said again, but quieter this time. "Not like ownership, like recognition, like acceptance." And then, after a pause that felt like the universe holding its breath, "If you still wish to marry me, I accept." I laughed once, nervous, disbelieving. "You're serious?" I have never been more precise. Outside the viewport, the stars burned endlessly, indifferent to what had just been rewritten inside a broken salvage ship drifting between empires. And for the first time in my life, AP didn't feel like I was surviving space. I felt like space had finally noticed me.